Welcome back to Calm AF. I am Kristen Finch. This is episode 317, and we are in part 3 of our 3-part series on the identity shift from hypervigilant achiever, energy manager, perfectionist into a Calm AF regulated high performer. If you haven't listened to parts 1 and 2, at some point, go back and listen to that because we talked about what a high performer's day looks like, what kind of routines they have. And in part 2, we started breaking down the core differences between a hyperachiever and a high performer. Today, we're going to go deeper because here's what I know. It's not enough to just know the difference. You want to live the difference. You actually want to feel the shift in your body, in your brain, and in your life. And there are 2 big identity shifts that I want to dig into today. These are the 2 probably shifts that I see unlock everything else for my clients once they make them. Before we dive into those 2 shifts, I want you to know that I have created an entire private podcast that's designed to take you even deeper into this identity shift from hyperachiever into Calm AF high performer. In the private podcast, I'm going to walk you through the exact reason why no matter how hard you try to calm down, no matter how many people tell you, you should relax, take a break, slow down, it never really sticks. You might manage it for a minute, but it never lasts. And most importantly, I'm going to show you in the private podcast how to change that for good. This is where you learn to stop trying to feel calm and you actually start living as a Calm AF high performer. You can grab that private podcast through the link in the show notes or at kristenfinch.com. Okay, let's dive into our 2 big shifts. One of the biggest differences between a hypervigilant achiever and a Calm AF high performer is their actual relationship with calm, with a regulated nervous system. Hyperachievers treat calm like this reward for surviving some sort of chaos, for getting through something. It's something you earn after you have gone through the lunch, after you have finished the project, after you have gotten everything on your to-do list done. Then maybe you can earn some calm. So you get your massage, you sit on the couch and watch your Netflix, you do your breath work, you take a quick walk, and then it's right back into the hypervigilance, into the urgency and the pressure and the overfunctioning. You think thoughts like, if I can just get through this week, then I'll rest. Or if I push hard enough, if I work really hard and everyone sees that I'm doing a good job, then I'm going to earn a break or some time off. If I relax now, everything's going to fall apart. Sound familiar? Yes. That is the mind of a hypervigilant achiever. But Calm AF high performers, to them, calm, regulated energy, it's not where they escape. This is where they lead from. Calm isn't the break after the burnout. It's the energy that they bring into everything they do. Why? Because a Calm AF high performer knows that their regulation is their power. Calm AF energy is what lets you lead with clarity instead of fear or pressure. Calm is what lets you show up for hard conversations without losing yourself. It's what keeps your nervous system from running your entire life like it's a crisis. And I'm not suggesting by any means that high performers don't have pressure or stress or challenges. They do. In fact, they might even have more than you. The difference is Calm AF high performers do not abandon themselves to handle the pressure. They regulate. They return to Calm AF again and again and again. It's not a reward It's the standard. And this is a shift that I walk you through really step by step in the private podcast, because rewiring your nervous system to operate from regulation, not from urgency, isn't about willpower. It's about repetition. It's about gentleness. It's about knowing how to move your nervous system through this process, through this transition in a way that won't shut it down. So it's about being supported through the process. Which leads beautifully into the next shift that I want to talk about today. And this one is so big. It's so huge. I think it's one of the biggest differences that I see in the identity of someone who is operating as a hypervigilant achiever versus a regulated high performer. So hypervigilant achievers are very, very proud of their independence. They wear it like a badge of honor. They are the ones who figure it out. They handle it. They fix it. They can manage it. And they do it all solo. And if you were to ask a hyperachiever about this, they would say it's not necessarily that they want to be the one. It's that they think they don't have a choice. They are so committed to this identity that has kept them safe, they believe, and has kept them being needed. They're so committed to this identity as the, one woman solution center, the go-to person for everything, the one that everyone goes when they have a problem because she can fix it. They're so committed to this identity that they can't see that there's any other option. Ask me how I know. I am a recovering hyper-independent hyperachiever myself, and I absolutely wore it like a badge of honor for years. But then I started finding myself more regularly in rooms with true high performers, people operating at a really high level. And then I started being hired by these people. And I was shocked because they don't operate that way at all. They don't just ask for support. They build their world around it. They outsource practically everything that isn't in their zone of genius. They delegate, they get help. They don't wait until they are drowning to wave their white flag. They get support before they need it. Why? Why do high performers do this? Because they understand the cost of doing everything alone. Hyper-independence might feel powerful in the moment to know that you are the one everyone goes to, but it totally slows you down. And a high performer is not interested in being the most burned out person in the room. They are interested in being the most effective, the most focused, the most impactful. Let's take a real example that everybody knows. Tom Brady. He had an entire team of support, an entire team of experts around him for his entire career, starting in college when he didn't make the team. He had his first high-performance mindset coach. He had nutritionists. He had performance coaches, quarterback coaches. And it's not because he wasn't motivated, not because he didn't know how to work hard. It's not because he couldn't figure it out if he had to. He had this support system around him because he knew that being the quarterback and being the nutrition expert are two different roles. He knew that his power was in staying in his identity as this elite player. So he trusted his support, his coaches, to stay in the identity of their genius. He let the nutrition coach be the expert instead of him thinking he needed to be the expert. He had the support around him to help him see what he couldn't, to catch the things that he misses because he doesn't have time to be doing everything. He needed to focus on being the quarterback. This is the difference. High performers, they don't see support as a luxury of something that they can get if they really, really need it. Having support in everything that they can, that is the strategy. They don't waste time trying to be the coach and the player. They stay in their lane, they stay in their zone of genius, and they bring in experts who will help them stay aligned and stay clear and stay powerful. My private coaching clients don't hire me because they're incapable. They hire me because I'm an expert in nervous system regulation and neuroplasticity. And they know that if they're going to reach their next level, they can't spend their time trying to become an expert in nervous system regulation and neuroplasticity. They know that rapid sustainable growth doesn't come from figuring it all out alone. It comes from access to expertise. They're not hoarding podcast episodes and books and trying to piece it all together. They're not over-consuming and under-executing. They go straight to the source. Now, I know what you might be thinking right now. You're like, that's great, but I'm not Tom Brady. I'm not operating right now as a high-level performer. I'm not leading a company or a team of 1,000. I'm a mom trying to keep my family running. I'm a doctor seeing back-to-back patients. I'm exhausted just trying to get through the day. I don't have Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady money. And I hear you. I really do. But I want you to hear me. You do not have to be operating at an elite level to think like a high performer. This isn't about status. This isn't about money. This isn't about private chefs and round-the-clock trainers. The point in me telling you about this is that high performance is not about status or fame or success. It's about how clearly and efficiently and powerfully you move. It's about how you respond when things get hard, how you show up under pressure, what you do with your energy and your time and your brain space. And the other thing I want you to hear is that you will never become a high performer operating at an elite level, thinking like a hypervigilant high achiever. You can't hit your next level, whether that's in your career, in your industry, in your family, in your income, in your life, without burning out if you keep DIYing shit. I know you know this. So you just need to take one step as a high performer, thinking like a high performer, to start moving towards that level. So how do you do this? Well, easiest place, start with the private podcast. I get you in your head as a high performer in that private podcast, hyperachiever to high performer. It's totally free. It's private. You won't find it by searching. You have to grab it from the link. But I created it to help you shift into a high performer. It's designed for the high performer. So start there. Or if you're like, nope, I am ready. I am ready to operate at an elite level. And I know the only thing stopping me is my high achiever. And I know the only thing stopping me is my hyperachiever mindset. Then you can apply to work with me. Link for more info is in the show notes. But you have to do something to shift, because you don't need to become a high performance expert to become a high performer. You just need to stay in your zone of genius and find the support to help you see what you can't yet. All right, you know what to do. Let's go do it. I'll see you next time.